I hate when people assume that working remotely means you're not really working. I have been a freelancer for over 3 years, and despite the growing popularity of freelancing and remote work, there are still many people who believe that working from home or working online is not as legitimate as traditional office-based work. Some people assume that remote workers have a lot of free time, or that they're not really working because they're not in an office setting. However, the reality is that many remote workers are just as busy and productive as their office-based counterparts. In fact, studies have shown that remote workers often work longer hours than those who work in offices. And with the rise of communication and collaboration tools, remote workers can now easily stay connected and work collaboratively with their colleagues. So, next time someone assumes that you're not really working because you're freelancing or working online, speak up and share your perspective on the matter. Op working remotely right now while posting on Reddit tears of joy. If you make that sweet cash as a freelancer, who cares? My fiancé is doing freelance in graphic design and she is making way more money than I do. All the remote workers where I am are always calling the people like me who can't remote work to do something for them that they need to physically be there for. I always tell them no and tell the people who I am in charge of to say the same. One person I flat out said they can bring their work from home ass in every once in a while to handle these things. I don't get to wake up and shuffle to my computer still in my pajamas and casually log in and not have a phone ringing non-stop from the time we open until we close. Eat shit. Some people assume that remote workers have a lot of free time. These people probably do not work at work and just idle until the 8 hours are done. Then they expect that you do the same. But since you're at home, you can use your time in a better way than just idling against the clock. Key word is many. Many people do work when they are remote. It's the select few that don't work that give a bad representative for the rest. It goes both ways. People without a doubt get more distracted at home. But there are tons of office jobs where people come on site and mostly sit in a chair for 8 hours. You can bust your ass while working remotely just as much as you can come to the office. Sit at your computer and look pretty while browsing Reddit. I need the split or I'd work all the time. I work a physically grueling job with very little downtime. Jobs like mine in trades and semi-skilled labor have a terrible time finding people who aren't lazy pieces of shit even when supervised by someone who signs their checks. I don't assume that many who work from home are fucking off. But it seems like the WFH environment would be magnetic to those who would love to. I agree. However, the TikToks of people doing no work and being on the beach is a hard counter-argument. This is why we cannot have nice things. Oh, this what I do for 3 hours a day. I sleep for 5, which okay. But why are you broadcasting it when you are supposed to be working? Can it really be called work if you have the option to not wear pants? I've been freelance and working from home for twice the amount of time you have been. And completely agree. My job is entirely web-based. Coming into office 2 days a week is absolutely useless. I believe it is to make the rent worth it for them. And let me tell you, at home or in office I am working constantly. Was working through COVID. A lot. Never had a break and never able to be someone who tied their mouse to a fan to be active. I had to work. Agreed. My sister works from home and has since 2020. There are days she is in her room with the door shut, dealing with work, and I won't really see her much at all. She gets as much free time as she would if she were back in the office. Actually, all office work isn't real work. Giphy RMZFPXUHNKBSE78NYN downsized. My stepdad, who works an office job, spends most of his time doing nothing. While he deals with people's schedules, once he's done, he's most likely done. I'm on the side of mostly coming in. I work an outdoor job, so I'm not in the office, but my job needs office support. Since the office has gone remote in office 1.5 days a week, I can't get a hold of anyone on the phone and won't get an email back for hours, possibly days. In the past, I could walk in and talk to someone. I get tired of hearing my support can't help me when I need it because they are at the grocery store or walking their dog. Work from home should at least be a 9-5 and not working when you feel like it. Tell them it says more about their work mentality than yours, that they would assume that. I remember last time I was working remote, I was doing 13-14-hour shifts. I've had a variety of jobs, but that was definitely the hardest work I did. I can't see them, so they must not be working. I've been working from home long before COVID, and they have software on our computers that show how much work we're getting done and if our mouse is moving. So no, I don't get to go do chores while I'm supposed to be at work. We're literally chained to our desks, worse than in person. I work remotely. The thing about working from home is that means I am always on the clock. Or assumed I am always on the clock. Because my laptop is just in the other room. And I can log in at any time. Versus driving to the office to log in. I actually log more overtime now than I did when I was in the office pre-pandemic. Man, I work remotely and I literally don't work except for Friday for like 3 hours to catch up on the week's work. IT is fun. From my perspective, people who work from home are lazy and entitled. Just go into the office. Everyone else has to. Since you're home, can you watch my kids run my errands? I'm working, I can't do that. Then they get mad, lol. Get to work. The freelance part contributes to that as well. If you were part of a company, people would assume you're staying busy with remote work. When I worked as a freelancer, I'd clarify how busy I was by saying I'm juggling 4 clients right now. I used to work in an office and now WFH doing pretty much the same job. But with much more responsibility. I get way more work accomplished at home with no people or conversations distracting me. But yay, everyone else thinks I just get to do whatever I want. Family and friends think they can just stop by unannounced and hang out for a little or call and want to have a full-on in-depth discussion. Dude, you're posting on Reddit while working remotely. Tears of joy. We all know that people that work from home are lazy. Effort jealousy has always been a big thing I've seen. Especially in my family. I work in spurts and travel. So I'll be gone for weeks, and as soon as I get home they expect that I should help them because they're busy. Like, no. I just worked 90 hours last week and the week before. I'm going to sleep. I slack off at home. But to be fair, I slacked off at the office. For real. And I hate how bosses assume you do more work in the office when there is so much wasted downtime. I'd easily get the same amount of work done every day if I had 6 hours instead of my 8. LMAO office workers are talking about work being actual work? Let them pick up a shift at a supermarket or hospital and we will see if they realize what true work really is. Yeah, there is a lot of propaganda running around trying to get people back into the office. Said propaganda has no legs to stand on though. Bruts that you're already home. And a job that allows working from home has to be fairly cushy job to begin with. They don't let you load trucks from home. Everyone I know who works from home job is basically just answering emails or filling out charts of some kind, submitting, then just watching TV and playing video games.